When I walked in here, I could barely walk. I was almost in a walker. I came in here with a cane, but I had been in a walker. I was using a wheelchair at home. I was pretty miserable. I'm Bob. I'm 73 years old. I am suffering from Guillain-Barré Syndrome. It started in December of 22. I was hospitalized for about 6 months, intensive rehab for another 3 months. And I was on heavy drugs, medication, gabapentin, Lyrica, various painkillers, and I was living in a fog. My pain was pretty intense. I am suffering from, and I was also doing research about my symptoms. And that's when I stumbled across acupuncture. I knew a little bit about it, and I did discuss it with my primary physician because I was concerned about the number of drugs I was taking. And he encouraged me to go forward. I came across an article for acupuncture of Grand Rapids. And I read the article, and they dealt specifically with neuropathy. That was one of the things they treated. And I have, as a result of the Guillain-Barré, the nerve damage that I have, one of the side symptoms is neuropathy, both in my hands and my feet. And it was severe. When I walked in here, I could barely walk. I was almost in a walker. I came in here with a cane, but I had been in a walker. I was using a wheelchair at home. I was pretty miserable. And the evaluation was comprehensive. It was thorough from head to toe, which from that assessment, I was able to make a decision that acupuncture could help me. My expectations, I didn't know what they would be. I was optimistic, but I wanted to get off the drugs. I started, I think it was in March, and it is now really August 1st, and it's like night and day for me. The pain has lessened. I am now able to walk without a cane. Originally, I had no feeling in my hands. The half of my hands and my feet were just numb and burning. Now I do have feeling. That's what I didn't have before, and I couldn't even drive a car. I didn't dare get in a car. Now I can actually drive a car confidently, and know where the pedals are, be able to use them. And so it's been a big impact on my quality of life, more than anything. From the evaluation, the first one, I had less than 10% feeling in my hands and my feet. When we got about midway through, another evaluation was done, and the results were significant. I think I had an 80% improvement in my feet particularly, and my hands also. I'm not exactly sure of the number, but I want to say it was up there, another 60 or 70%. So that wouldn't have happened otherwise. When I look at Corinne, first time I met her, I knew I was in front of someone that was highly knowledgeable and a specialist in her field. I think she is extremely talented in her depth of knowledge. Not many people knew about my condition. Guillain-Barré Syndrome affects 3 in 100,000. And that was the latest statistics that I had when I walked in here. And the minute I mentioned to Corinne that I had Guillain-Barré Syndrome, she knew immediately what it was. During the course of my sessions here, I also developed a little slight shingles problem. I said, I've got a little shingles, and I said, I know it's not curable. And she looked at me like, really? And she recommended a topical oil that I used, and I cleared my symptoms up within 3 weeks. Usually they last months. I said, it's nice about the practice here is the level of professionalism. The staff is incredible, they're attentive. The other thing that's nice, I would have paid 3 times what the services are. My wife was the first one to tell me, you're walking so much better. And my penmanship also got a lot better. I can actually write a check that you can read. But yeah, my family has definitely noticed a huge improvement, not only in my physical being, but my attitude. I'm not frustrated because when you can't walk or you can't sign your name properly, that's frustrating. There have been limitations, over this past year on what I could do. I do like to get out and garden. I like to mow my yard, those type of things that I had to hire everything done. Now I can do most of it. My friends have asked me about acupuncture, and again, would I recommend it? Absolutely. I think if you've got a chronic condition like a back pain, knee injury, shoulder injuries, I do think acupuncture is a methodology to avoid taking all the drugs. When I go to the doctor, and don't get me wrong, I love my doctor, but he wants to write a prescription. And I don't want to take another prescription. I don't mind taking a Tylenol here and there, but when I was on gabapentin and Lyrica and all the other pain meds, I lived in a fog. And I'm in my golden years. I don't want to live in a fog. I want to be